For the setup of putting the embroidery module on the Bernina 560 sewing machine, I want to walk you through just a few things that I always do, like if I'm switching from the sewing side over to embroidery. So one of the things you want to do is go ahead and put on the foot number 26. It kind of looks like a darning foot, but it is your embroidery foot. The other thing that I notice is my feed dogs are still up. So come over here, push that button all the way in so it stays indented. Your finger should have a little hole to go in now, and then those will stay down. I've also put on the straight stitch throat plate because I do have it. If you have it, put it on for embroidery. A lot of people buy that for free motion quilting or even just straight stitching because it really helps stabilize your needle going up and down, and that's what embroidery is all about. So when the feed dogs go down, you do have a little bit of a yellow teeth right here indicating that they are lowered, and I have gone in and turned on the straight stitch throat plate icon so then that way I don't accidentally pick a stitch maybe back at zigzag and then it automatically goes, hey, and breaks my needle. So definitely don't want to do that. So first off, we're going to attach the embroidery module to the machine. So as you stand up, you're going to notice in the back here, there's a little hole, and then also the module has a small little like peg leg right here. So when those two match up, it actually sits nice and flush. So I usually just push it towards the machine, and then as I give it a little push, it clicks down in there, and now it's all nice and even around the machine. Now next, we're going to go ahead and bring the cord over. If you don't plug this in, you still don't have a module attached. So I always hold it so the flat side is on the front. So think like how you put your needle in, flat side towards you, and then there is only one place to plug in that matches the round hole. It's right above the foot control. Now let's talk about the foot control. Do we need this for embroidery? Technically not. You can leave it in. It will act as like a start-stop button if you wanted to hold your foot on the foot control, but for today I'm going to just even unplug that so that's not even in that area at all. Okay, so we've plugged it in. And I'm still on the sewing side, so I can use the home button to activate the embroidery side of this machine. So which is really nice. You can actually get in here without even putting your embroidery module on. If you don't even own it yet, you can do that. And then go back to the home and back to sewing. Actually, if I was to actually take that off, it would go ahead and go back to the sewing side of it. All right, so one other thing I do want to talk about is that there is a second bobbin case for embroidery. You're going to notice it came out of another package. It has a gold latch, so that should help you remember which one is your embroidery one. But there's an extra little pigtail right there that when you put your bobbin in, now this is bobbin thread. In particular, it's bottom line branded thread, and you're going to put it right through the tension like you've been normally doing it for sewing. But then what you're going to do is actually take the thread and clockwise wrap it around the pigtail. So it goes right in and through that little guy. So it's not double backed or anything, but it just pulls through. And what that does is it gives a little bit more tension to our bobbin thread and help pull the decorative thread that we have in our needle down to the back side. So we don't want to ever see bobbin thread coming up. And then you just put it in like normal. So we just put it in, cut the thread. Remember that comes up when it is all ready to stitch. Now, when we actually have fabric in here, then our hoops, our brackets are right here. And what we'll do is we'll be able to squeeze the bracket and firmly place that on to the embroidery arm. And then that will move into place as we're ready to go. Once again, you can squeeze to get it off and then squeeze to push down hard as long as it clicks in. And actually your machine is smart enough that if for any reason you don't click it down far enough, it actually will tell you there's no hoop attached. So totally safe. It's not going to let you embroider when you don't have things all properly attached. So I do like all those safety measures. So this is how we want to set up our machine. I highly recommend that you get some good quality embroidery thread. If you cheap out on the thread, I will guarantee you that the machine's probably not going to work to its optimal ability. So good quality thread makes a difference. And now we're going to show you about some stabilizers, and we are going to make sure that you're all ready to go for perfect embroidery every time you sit down.